Kind of forgot that E3 was a thing. Since last year, the whole COVID fiasco kind of stopped the whole, E3 from happening, but now it's back again. I think it was like announced like 2 months ago. I was like, oh, E3 is coming back. I was excited, but then I completely forgot. I was like, oh, wait, yeah, E3 is going on. Oh, okay, cool. But unfortunately, it seems like this year, E3's pretty lame. Okay, it's pretty boring. There's not a lot of new stuff going around. Nothing like too exciting to be, cooming over. To give you a great example, here's, Ubisoft, and they were like, yeah, bro, we're just gonna announce, a bunch of updates. It's like, great, awesome, thanks. I'm really glad you spent a lot of money just to tell us this when you could have just uploaded a video and be like, yeah, there you go, or just post something on Twitter or on Reddit. But no, you have to make a big little show just to tell us, hey, that game For Honor, Rainbow Six Siege? Yeah, we're adding new updates, so it's like, okay, great, awesome. There were like a few exceptions here and there. Battlefield 2042. That looked really fun. That looked pretty interesting. The new game update. Well, I'm sorry, not new game update. It's a new game. It's literally a new game. I'm not sure when it's gonna come out. I think like next year or maybe this year. I didn't pay attention to the release date, but it did look fun. They even released gameplay. First, it was the the cinematic trailer, which always looks nice. But then when the gameplay trailer finally came out, I was like, okay, that looks pretty good. The only downside, for me at least, it's like it's taking place in the modern era, and I'm not for that. I'm more for like the old school kind of stuff, like World War I, World War II. There were like talks that there was gonna be like a Vietnam style game, which could have been really fun. But unfortunately, they're not going with that route. But it doesn't mean the game is gonna suffer for that, for me at least. But am I gonna buy it? Probably not. I'm probably gonna wait for other games. There are a lot of interesting indie games as well that seemed pretty interesting. But ladies and gentlemen, we gotta talk about the subject matter here. We gotta talk about Nintendo. The reason why I titled the video in such a way. Okay, Nintendo. It seemed like a lot of people were saying that Nintendo wasn't gonna pull through like literally everyone else so far. Sony hasn't gone. I'm still expecting something good from Sony, hopefully. But Nintendo really pulled like a fast one on us. Okay, they released a lot of interesting games so far. To give you a grand example, they talked about the Legend of Zelda 2, Breath of the Wild, which looks pretty interesting. I'm not gonna buy it. Again, forewarning for those of you who think I'm a Nintendo child, I don't care. I used to care a lot about Nintendo. Mario was my boy until I got the PS4, and then I was like, I don't care about Mario. But for the most part, it looks pretty interesting. Oh, something ironic too, for those of you who watch, some ordinary gamers. I believe he was talking about a game called Advanced Wars. He was saying that there's not going to be like a new release. Technically, he was still right, but they did announced that they were going to add do a reboot of sorts, which it actually looks really cool. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty fun. Like if I had a Nintendo Switch, I'd probably, play that game, but I don't have a Nintendo Switch because I am not interested in a Nintendo Switch, alright? Where's Pikmin 4? Okay? If you announce Pikmin 4, which they didn't, unfortunately, I would straight up buy a Nintendo Switch just to play that game, okay? Pikmin 3 was my jam, alright? That game was amazing, but unfortunately, no Pikmin 4 so far. We've been waiting 6 years. Come on, Nintendo, give us something. Quit blue balling us, I swear to God. Do us a grand favor. They also released a new character for Smash. It's the dude from Tekken. I don't know if he's like the main character. I'm very ignorant to these games. I don't play these games at all. But Tekken, one of the characters has been added, and everyone's like, oh, that's so cool. And also a new meme came out of it, kinda. You know how like that Kirby video where like Kirby's falling in that cliff, and then yeah, they took that clip from the new clip for okay, I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, no, it was that character Tekken. He threw the characters, the Nintendo characters down that volcano or down the cliff, I don't know, and then they edited it, and then I was like, okay, that's pretty quirky. They also released a new Mario Party for those of you who would be excited for that. I looked at it and I was like, okay, it looks pretty interesting. They also added a new WarioWare. Never played it. Still looks pretty interesting though, but for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, I think the biggest announcement that came out from the Nintendo Direct or from the E3 thing was the new Metroid game. You remember that game that they were announced 3 or maybe 4 years ago called Metroid Prime or something? or like a new Metroid game. I think it was titled differently, and everyone's like, oh, we can't wait for that. And, you know, everyone's like, yes, it's gonna happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Instead, they're giving us a new game called Metroid Dread, which actually seems like they're planning to release, because if you don't remember, back when they announced a new Zelda game, I'm sorry, a new Metroid game, it wasn't like gameplay, right? It was just like a title screen, and that's literally it. And I was like, okay, cool, a new Metroid game's coming out. But now this time around, they actually showed gameplay of the game, and a little trailer here and there, which looks pretty fun. It looks really, really fun. And, you know, from what I can see on Twitter, a lot of people are freaking out by the fact that, you know, they're finally getting a new Metroid game. I played the first one on my 3DS, okay? When they had, like, the Nintendo Wear, I think it's what it's called. It was pretty fun, pretty difficult. Didn't finish it. But from what I played from that old game, it was fun. It was pretty entertaining. Again, still difficult, but I wonder if that difficulty will still stand in Metroid Dread. But, you know, congratulations for those of you who've been waiting so long for a Metroid game, for a new Metroid game. You finally got one, and it looks pretty interesting. It doesn't look like garbage. It actually looks pretty fun. But that's basically all the noteworthy things that I thought were pretty interesting. There are other things probably that you found more interesting than what I talked about. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I am still holding out for Sony and a new Star Wars game, okay? I pray to God we get Battlefront 3. Probably not. Probably not. Simply because they're working on the new Battlefield game, and it's like, you know, they can't work on both things at the same time. It's like, it's not gonna happen. If anything, like, after Battlefield 2042 already, you know, ran its course, they're probably gonna start working on the new Battlefront 3. I'm hoping, because I really enjoyed the you know, both Battlefront games that EA produced, even though they really had some rough issues and rough patches, but for the most part, I thought they were pretty interesting. But I am still hoping, you know, still holding out hope for a new Star Wars game. If it doesn't come out, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna piss my pants, but, you know, it'd still be nice to get something, a little tangible thing, Star Wars related, you know. I'm still holding out. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say for this quirky E3 this year. Pretty lame, in my opinion, except for Nintendo. You know, Nintendo pulled through. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Did you think that this E3 was pretty boring, or did you think there was some, you know, golden nuggets, you know, mixed up with the rest of the garbage? Let me know. Let me know. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. But thank you, everyone, for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification to be notified on my next video. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.